Focus report today coming from our reporters in the United States. Now, a little drought is no big deal to Californians, the Golden State earning its nickname as much from its hot and sunny weather as from its valuable gold deposits. But this time it is much worse than usual. California is in its third year of a drought that may turn out to be its worst ever. To make matters worse, the state has just had its warmest winter on record, depriving its parched land of snowmelt in the spring. Some communities are at risk of running out of drinking water, while those most at risk are ranchers and farmers. A lack of green grass means that some are having to sell cows that they can no longer afford, while the dry spell may force farmers to leave idle 500,000 acres of cropland. This report by France 24's reporters from California's Central Valley.
Hundreds of cows are walking uphill towards a mountain. It will take them 4 days to get there.
We're driving our cows up the mountain to summer pastures where there's more green grass.
Californian cattlemen are forcing this migration. Why? There's been no rain, and therefore no grass for their cattle to feed on. It's the result of California's devastating drought.
This is the worst I have ever seen. 2013, I've been at it my whole life. I'm 55 years old. The cows are thin, probably 100 to 200 pounds weight, less than what they normally would be at this time.
To protect their cows' health and avoid going bankrupt, many ranchers have no choice but to sell their cattle. Livestock auctions like this one are very well attended this year, which is helping keep this old-fashioned cowboy tradition alive. Here, the drought makes for good business. Beth, the organizer of this auction, says today there are more than 1,000 heads of cattle for sale.
These cattle are already sold, and then what's left over there, everything will be sold today. We're probably selling 5 to 6 times more cattle per week than we normally would this time of year.
There are buyers from Oregon, Colorado, and Texas here. They've come to buy beef-range cattle from disillusioned ranchers such as Kim Oviatt. He has sold 300 cows, the majority of his herd.
Our worst drought prior to this was 35 years ago, and not as bad as this. We've never had to take these dramatic measures of selling like this before. I've been working on this cow herd for over 40 years of genetics, and having to sell them is very difficult.
Kim takes us to his ranch to show us the impact of the drought.
Look at that. I ought to have mud on my boots, not dust.
With no grass, Kim had to buy hay to feed his cows. The drought makes it a rare and expensive commodity.
We've been buying hay, well, all season long, effectively. And normally, of course, we're not buying any hay at this time of year. As a result, everybody's trying to buy hay. Hay is a precious commodity and very expensive.
If the drought continues, Kim will have to sell all of his cows and change jobs. And the situation is getting worse. Climatologists say the coming summer will be historically dry.
This should be seen in the context of a very long-term drought that we're experiencing here in the Southwest. That is much more consistent with what we expect from climate warming due to increased greenhouse gases. And this has probably been about the worst one we've had in maybe 500 years or so.
The lack of water also affects Californian farmers. Sergio had to destroy part of his orchard. Sergio has lost more than 1,000 acres of almond trees, 30% of his production. He's taking a hit of about $20 million.
And you can see all the trees, they're dying. And we had to pull it out.
It's not profitable to buy water either. It now costs 6 times its regular price. Sergio doesn't hide his frustration. He's still waiting for financial aid promised by President Barack Obama during his recent visit to the region.
The president come up, about a month ago here, and he's supposed to do something about it, but so far we don't see anything. So, and it's really serious. I mean, everybody, like I say, I've been labeled a lot of people.
California is the top agricultural producer in the U.S. That means the next victims of this drought will be consumers nationwide. prices for beef, fruits, and vegetables could increase as much as 20% this summer.
Well, let's take a look at all the latest sports news now.